Have you ever seen a moment where the weakest-looking person in the room turned out to be the strongest, not just in strength, but in heart? Well, this story will make you rethink how you look at people. Because when a highly respected Navy Admiral challenged a quiet janitor, a single father, to a friendly sparring match, nobody expected what happened next. Not the officers, not the Admiral, not even the janitor himself, and by the end, the truth that came out left the entire naval base in stunned silence. Stay with me till the end, because the final reveal might just bring tears to your eyes. Every night, when most of the naval officers had gone home or were celebrating their achievements, 38-year-old Ethan Graves wiped the floors of Port Hampton Naval Training Academy in silence. He wore a faded navy blue janitor uniform, his boots scuffed, shoulders slightly hunched, not from weakness, but from life weighing down on him. Ethan was a single father. His 8-year-old daughter, Lily, was his entire world. After losing his wife to illness 2 years ago, he worked night shifts so he could spend his mornings helping Lily get ready for school. Money was always short. Dreams. He didn't have the luxury for those anymore. Survival was the only goal, but what nobody at the academy knew was that before life broke him, Ethan once had a dream that burned bright. One quiet evening, as Ethan mopped the hallway outside the training gym, he heard laughter inside. A group of young naval cadets were practicing hand-to-hand combat drills, sparring under the supervision of Admiral Marcus Steele, a tall, commanding man in his mid-50s, known for his discipline and zero-nonsense attitude. Steele's voice boomed across the gym. Remember, strength is nothing without respect. A real warrior protects, never humiliates. But despite his words, some cadets snickered when Ethan entered with a mop and bucket. They had seen him almost every night, quiet, invisible, someone they didn't think twice about. One of the cockier cadets, Reed, smirked at Ethan, whispering loudly, "Must be nice. No pressure. Just mop floors for a living." The others laughed. Ethan lowered his gaze, ignoring them. He didn't have time or energy to explain that everyone fights battles, some just don't show them. But Admiral Steele noticed the disrespect. He turned sharply to the cadets. "Is that how future Navy officers treat people who work hard to keep this place running?" The room fell silent. Reed muttered, "Just a janitor." Steele's eyes hardened. "There is no just before any honest job. Remember that." Ethan looked up, surprised. Not many people defended him. As Ethan turned to leave, Admiral Steele called out, "Graves, isn't it? Do you know a thing or two about martial arts?" Ethan froze. His heart dropped. How did he know? Ethan replied quietly, "Just a little, from a long time ago." Steele smiled faintly. "Care for a light spar? Friendly? Just for fun?" The cadet's jaws dropped. "A janitor? Spar with an admiral?" The whispers began. "This will be funny. Steele will crush him in seconds." Ethan wanted to refuse. He wasn't that man anymore, but something inside him, perhaps pride, perhaps pain, made him nod. As he stepped onto the mat, Ethan could feel his hands tremble, not from fear of losing, but from remembering who he used to be. What nobody knew was that Ethan was once a regional martial arts champion, with medals stored in a dust-covered box back home. A dream abandoned after tragedy struck, and now, years later, life had unexpectedly placed him back on a mat. The bell rang. Ethan took a stance. Everyone leaned forward. The janitor was about to surprise them all. The gym fell into a thick silence as Admiral Steele and Ethan faced each other. Steele opened with a respectful bow. Ethan hesitated, then bowed back, a movement so fluid that a couple of cadets exchanged confused looks. The spar began slow. Steele tested Ethan with light probing jabs, not to hurt, but to measure. But Ethan's reflexes were sharper than anyone expected. He dodged the Admiral's strikes with calm precision, almost effortless. A whisper spread through the cadets. "Wait, he knows what he's doing." Steele smiled, not mockingly, but impressed. "You've trained. Serious training. Why'd you quit?" Ethan didn't answer. His breathing was steady, eyes focused, not angry, but awake in a way they hadn't been for years. The spar intensified. Steele launched a swift leg sweep, fast and tactical. Ethan countered with a move so clean, so technical, that the Admiral lost balance, but Ethan caught him gently before he could fall. Gasps filled the gym. The janitor had just outmaneuvered one of the most respected officers in the Navy. Ethan stepped back, hands down, not wanting to continue. But Steele's eyes gleamed, not with ego, but excitement again. This time, Steele came with full skill, not holding back. The clash was fast, fierce, and breathtaking. Ethan moved with the grace of a man who had once lived for this, footwork sharp, strikes controlled, discipline evident. Then came the moment nobody expected. Steele attempted a shoulder lock. Ethan countered with a lightning-quick disarm and pinned the Admiral gently but decisively to the mat. The room fell dead silent. Ethan let go immediately and stepped back, almost ashamed. The Admiral sat up, stunned, then smiled proudly. He stood, raised Ethan's arm like a victor, and turned to his cadets. This is why you never underestimate someone. Skill, heart, and discipline can live in anyone, uniform or not. Some cadets lowered their heads, ashamed of how they treated Ethan earlier. Reed swallowed hard, unable to meet Ethan's eyes. Steele looked at Ethan deeply. Graves, why are you working as a janitor? With skills like yours, you should be teaching. Ethan's eyes softened with pain. My daughter needs me. I work nights so I can care for her. Life changed. There was silence. Not pity, respect. Steele nodded slowly. Life hits the strongest warriors hardest. But you're still standing, that's strength. Before Ethan could leave, Steele called out. Come back tomorrow. Not as a janitor. I want to talk to you about a job. Ethan blinked in disbelief. A job? Teaching. A chance to be more than a tired man pushing a mop, for the first time in years. Ethan allowed himself to hope, and watching from the hallway, little Lily, who had come to surprise her dad with a drawing she made, had tears in her eyes, not because her dad fought, but because she saw something she hadn't seen in a long time.